Another part of the local situation is, of course, the weather, and it is very foggy out there. It doesn't look like it's, going to be a great day, but apparently it is majestic.
It's going to be really nice. I mean, we had a similar setup yesterday where it was foggy, and then really once about 9-10 o'clock rolls around, you start to see a lot of that fog mix out. And if you liked yesterday's forecast, which it was nice, I mean, upper 60s is where we topped off at, you're going to love today's because we're talking about near record territory with temperatures rising back into the mid 70s today. So let's start with what's going on outside. I'm going to show you some of my live cameras. This is what it's still looking like for many of us. So this is out there in downtown Monroe where you can still see that fog lingering. It's been very thick this morning in and around uptown as well. We like to show you those WCNC tower cams, those live shots, and we couldn't even see the skyline this morning because the fog was so dense. And then there'll be other areas right around Dallas where they're already tapping into that sunshine. Much of the same out towards Lylesville with just a good mix of sun and clouds. Bottom line, we've been under this dense fog advisory this morning, again issued by the National Weather Service. It was supposed to expire at 9 o'clock this morning, but they just extended it until 10 o'clock this morning. So many counties still under that, and it makes sense because look at how low the visibility is. I mean, less than a quarter of a mile for many of us. So if you are preparing to head out the door, just be cautious because in some spots it's going to be really difficult to see at times where you have to really slow down, and then other times it's going to be just fine. So I'd say by about 10 o'clock most of that fog is mixing out. We're starting to see those clouds move out as well, and then really the big weather story today, it's going to be sunny, and we're talking about near record warm highs. We're shooting for a high of 75 degrees. Our previous record was 77 degrees, set back in 1890. Now, that was a long time ago. 77, I don't know if we'll actually get to that or break that, but I'm feeling pretty confident with about 75 this afternoon. That's a pretty good looking January day, so if you want to do anything outside, even if you just work from home, maybe you open up your windows, you let in some nice fresh air. That sunlight's also always so nice. Maybe you can take your lunch outside and enjoy it, or maybe you just have dinner outside out on the deck. We're looking at our barbecue forecast here. Temperatures will be into the 70s still by about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Low 70s there, 6 o'clock, mid 60s, just very enjoyable. Now this is even more abnormal that we're not just looking at one of these random 70-degree days, but we have 4 days in a row where temperatures are in the upper 60s, low to mid 70s. Sunny and nice this afternoon. Tomorrow, still pretty nice. We'll drop those temperatures down just a little bit. We have a weak system, not really doing much. Still a rather very warm day. A few more clouds, though, start to move in on Friday and Saturday, and that's ahead of a cold front that eventually brings us some wet weather. But look at next week, back on track to more seasonal temperatures. We should be right around 52 degrees. So next week, it'll be more average conditions. But look at those overnight lows. I mean, that's going to hurt after having 70-degree days. 29 degrees heading out the door Monday morning, much of the same on Tuesday. Here's our 5-day forecast. So notice really no big problems over the next 3 days, but it's going to be that strong front that we've been talking about, really getting into detail about over the last few days, because we need to let you know about it because it's going to be a bit concerning for the football game on Saturday. So fast forwarding you through our futurecast, this takes us into Saturday morning. You can see a strong line of thunderstorms, and it's a long line too. You can see how many states it will be impacting. So this is still early on Saturday, and it's still pretty far away from our area. However, it's pretty likely that these storms will pack a punch because the Storm Prediction Center is also indicating, this is on Thursday, that those storms will likely bring some severe weather elements to them from Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, even down across Louisiana. Then Friday, that risk for severe storms, it's going to strengthen even more for that area shaded in orange. So we always like to see what happens before the storm system actually gets to us. Once we're heading into Friday night, that rain is on the way. The bulk of the rain, the heaviest rain, will still stay west of us, but we're just trying to figure out exactly the timing of this as well. So best case scenario is that this is a quick moving system. It weakens as it tracks eastward. We'll get through it earlier in the day on Saturday, and then it wraps up by the afternoon. However, if it slows down and the line actually moves in across the Carolinas, say Saturday afternoon, then then that's a little bit more problematic because at that point, temperatures are warm. We're going to be still holding on to 70-degree temperatures, so we'll have the warmth. We'll even have a little humidity, so we'll have the fuel for those storms to really fire up and take off as we're heading into Saturday afternoon. So still really determining the timing of it, but as of now, still confident rain is on the way Friday night and into Saturday. Models this morning are still showing that Saturday's game, likely you're going to want your poncho, your rain gear. Overcast, but still one of those days where it's warm. I mean, 70 degrees by 4 o'clock. So if that line's hitting right around 3, 4 o'clock, again, all the ingredients will be in place for a few storms to develop and form. And with storms, we could see some lightning strikes. So delays could actually happen with that game at home on Saturday. All right, in the meantime, here's our Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast. A lot of sunshine today. Yes, it is foggy. Make sure you're just being careful if you're heading out the door anytime soon. Mild temperatures tonight, right around those mid-40s. Again, Thursday also looks great. More clouds as we're wrapping up our work week. And then Saturday's just kind of the wet day, which would be probably just fine if it wasn't for such a big game that we have on Saturday. But after that, next week is going to be sunny and nice, just those chilly early mornings, and then seasonal into the 50s plus sunny next week. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. A lot of different things going on.
I mean, can you imagine having a barbecue on your back porch for tonight? January 7th.
I know.
I would do it.
Like it.
I would do it too. I was talking to my mom yesterday when I got home from work.
Yeah.
She lives in Washington State, and so I have all my windows open. I like to let in the fresh air when I'm
Sure.
cleaning my house, turn on some music, and I'm like, yeah, it's nice here. She's like, oh, it's snowing. So we're FaceTiming each other, and she has snow and wind, and it's like a winter wonderland. And meanwhile, I'm like, well, it's like 70 degrees.
Oh, but you miss that too.
I do.
The snow.
Yeah, well, not the wind. That's just the
The
most
wind
miserable.
is the worst.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sunny and snowy, I can deal with that totally.
Yes.
All right, Majestic Storm, thank you very much for joining us here.
Of course.
Live
See you
Impact
tomorrow.
Studios. See you tomorrow. Enjoy today, the rest of the day. That's the
Thank
nice
you.
thing about working so early, right? You're out of here
Yeah.
afternoon. You can enjoy a nice afternoon like that
Yes.
if you're not so sleepy and
And the
you've taken
sunshine
out.
helps. So then you're
That's
like, okay,
true.
maybe I'm not so tired.
That energy boost, little natural vitamin D.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. We'll be